Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you're tuned in right now, you know how important the NFC North is shaping up to be this season, and the Detroit Lions are right in the middle of this storm. The Lions, after a strong offseason, are looking to build on their recent success and push even further into the postseason. But as many of you know, the league is never static, and sometimes the biggest news comes from unexpected places. And folks, what I'm about to tell you might just be one of those game-changing stories that can reshape the division and set the tone for the entire NFL season. Recently, there's been a major development involving the Cincinnati Bengals and their star pass rusher, Trey Hendrickson. Yes, Hendrickson, the reigning NFL sack leader, a guy who's been a nightmare for quarterbacks over the past couple of seasons. For those of you who have been following his career, you know how disruptive he's been. Over the last 2 seasons, he's posted an incredible 17.5 sacks each year, making him one of the most feared pass rushers in the league. His ability to get to the quarterback, to disrupt plays in the backfield, and to set the tone for the Bengals' defense has been absolutely vital. But as we all know, in the NFL, contracts and negotiations can get complicated, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Throughout this offseason, the Bengals and Hendrickson have been locked in a tense contract negotiation. Hendrickson clearly wants a new deal, something that reflects his value and recent production. After all, when you put up 17.5 sacks in back-to-back seasons, you're not just a good player, you're among the league's elite. And he's right to want to be compensated accordingly. But Cincinnati, as an organization, tends to be cautious when it comes to guaranteed money. They're known for being disciplined, for holding firm in negotiations, and for only making trades when they feel they're getting the best possible deal. So, the negotiations have become a bit of a standstill, causing some distractions during training camp, which is never a good thing when your team is trying to gel before the season. Now here's where it gets interesting. Hendrickson has publicly said he doesn't plan to hold out, which is good for Cincinnati in a sense. But the contract standoff is still looming large. If they can't come to an agreement soon, the Bengals might have to make a tough decision. Do they risk losing their star pass rusher for nothing, or do they explore the trade market? And believe me, when a player of Hendrickson's caliber hits that kind of negotiation deadlock, NFL teams start to take notice. The trade rumors are swirling, and it's only a matter of time before some franchise makes a move. And folks, if the Bengals decide to listen to offers, one team that makes a ton of sense is none other than the Detroit Lions. You see, Detroit is a team that's been building something special, especially on defense. They've got Aiden Hutchinson, who's already established himself as one of the league's premier pass rushers, but adding a talent like Hendrickson could take their front seven to a completely new level. Imagine Hendrickson lining up opposite Hutchinson, creating one of the most formidable pass-rushing duos in recent NFL history. That's the kind of duo that can wreck offenses, set the tone for the entire defense, and really make a statement on Sundays. The Lions haven't made any significant moves on the defensive line during this offseason, and that's a gap that Hendrickson could fill perfectly. He's proven that he can produce at a high level consistently with 17.5 sacks in each of the past 2 seasons, and his presence on the field would give Detroit's defense an edge that they've been lacking. Plus, if you've watched Hendrickson play, you know he's not just about sacks. He's a relentless competitor, a guy who brings energy and intensity that can elevate the entire unit. And let's not forget, he's also a veteran who could be a great leader for the younger players on the team. Another aspect that makes this potential trade so intriguing is Hendrickson's fit within the Lions' defensive scheme. Detroit's defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, loves aggressive, attacking defenses. Hendrickson, with his quick first step and relentless motor, would thrive in that environment. He can rush from multiple alignments, create pressure from the edge, and help the Lions set the tone early in games. Plus, he's a player who's familiar with the NFL's physical style of play, and he's proven he can perform under pressure. For the Lions, Adding a player of Hendrickson's caliber isn't just about upgrading the roster. It's about making a statement that they're serious contenders and that they're willing to do what it takes to beat the best. Now, you might be wondering, what about the chemistry? Well, folks, Hendrickson has played for the Bengals, a team that's always been competitive, and he's used to high-pressure situations. Joining the Lions would give him a fresh start, a chance to be part of a team on the rise, and to help them push toward their ultimate goal, a Super Bowl victory. And I can tell you, he'd likely enjoy playing for a coach like Dan Campbell. Campbell is known for being a football guy, a guy who's passionate, intense, and deeply cares about his players. Hendrickson would fit right into that culture, bringing that energy that Campbell loves to see in his team. Now, let's pause here for a second. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Because folks, this isn't just about a player getting traded or a contract dispute. It's about the bigger picture, the NFC North, the landscape of the NFL, and how the Detroit Lions are positioning themselves for a deep playoff run. If the Lions could add Hendrickson to their already talented defense, it would send a message to everyone in the league that Detroit isn't just content with being a good team. They want to be champions. You see, the Lions have been building steadily over the past few seasons. After a long period of rebuilding, they finally started to turn things around under Dan Campbell's leadership. The team's culture has shifted, and players like Hutchinson have become cornerstones of this new identity. But to take that next step, making a real push to contend for the Super Bowl, they need to bolster their pass rush, and Hendrickson fits that mold perfectly. His ability to get to the quarterback, to create chaos in the backfield, can be the difference maker in close games, especially in the postseason. And let's be honest, if the Lions could land Hendrickson, it would send a message to their division rivals, especially the Green Bay Packers and Minnesota Vikings, that Detroit is serious about competing at the highest level. The NFC North has historically been competitive, with teams like the Packers and Vikings often battling for supremacy. But with Hendrickson on board, the Lions could become one of the most feared defenses in the league, capable of shutting down the run and pressuring the quarterback relentlessly. That's the kind of defense that can carry a team deep into January. Of course, there are still questions. Will Cincinnati actually trade Hendrickson? Can the Lions make the trade happen without giving up too much? And what would Hendrickson's price be? These are questions only time will answer. But the potential is there, and the timing couldn't be better. The Lions are at a pivotal point in their development. They've got a talented roster, a strong coaching staff, and now, perhaps, the opportunity to bring in a game-changing player. Hendrickson's arrival could be the final piece of the puzzle that pushes Detroit over the edge and makes them a serious contender for the Super Bowl. And remember, this isn't just speculation. NFL insiders are watching this situation closely. The trade market is heating up, and if Cincinnati decides Hendrickson is too valuable to keep, Detroit might just be the team that swoops in and makes a deal. It's a storyline that could define the NFC North this season. Imagine Hendrickson in Detroit's uniform, rushing the passer in Ford Field, with the crowd roaring and the defense firing on all cylinders. That's a scenario that gets every Lions fan excited, and it's not just wishful thinking. It's a real possibility. So as we watch this story unfold, keep in mind what a move like this could mean for the Lions' Super Bowl aspirations. They've already made strides, but adding Hendrickson would be a statement, a declaration that Detroit is here to contend, here to dominate, and here to chase down that elusive championship. The NFL is a league of moments, and sometimes a trade or a signing can tip the scales in favor of a team with the right vision, the right talent, and the right mindset. And if Detroit manages to land Trey Hendrickson, it could be the moment that elevates them from playoff contenders to genuine Super Bowl favorites. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you think Hendrickson would be the perfect fit for the Lions? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing him in Honolulu blue? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. We're just getting started on this journey to a Super Bowl, And with stories like this, the future looks brighter than ever. Thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you in the next video.